Move on here to long division in algebra, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Generally speaking, long division is reserved for, see here, when the equation is what's called cubic. See the way it has a cube there? It has an x cubed. I'm going to start with this one just because it's shorter, but this one could technically be done the same way as the homework. Because it's only quadratic and we know how to factorize quadratics, I could take the 6x squared plus 10x minus 4, and my guide number would be minus 24, which is 1 by 24, 2 by 12, 3 by 8, 4 by 6. So this one will give me 25 or 23, so that one doesn't work. This one, 14 or 10, so that's a possibility. This, 11 or 5, so no. And this one give me 2 or 10, so that's a possibility. Okay, so we'll have to look at signs. So I'm trying to get a plus 10, so this is a minus, this is a plus. Yeah, so minus 2 plus 12 equals plus 10. And minus 2 multiplied by plus 12, different signs give me a minus. 2 by 12 is 24, so that just works. So this one probably won't. So to get plus 10 out of this, I need two pluses. Plus 4 plus 6 is plus 10. And then if I multiply plus 4 by plus 6, the signs are the same, so I get a plus 24. And that's not what I have up here, so that doesn't work. Alright, so now I'm just flying through this because this is not how I want to show you how to do it. So that one works. Okay, so we go 6, oh no. So we go 6x squared minus 2x plus 12x minus 4, brackets to get my groups. So this is going to be 2x, and if I divide by 2x I get 3x minus 1. Oh, this could be either, so let's go with a plus and a 4, and then if I divide by that 4 it's 3x minus 1. The 3x matches the 3x and the minus 1 the minus 1, so I have 3x minus 1, 2x plus 4. Okay, and if you see the bottom line is 2x plus 4, so my top line is 3x minus 1, bracket, bracket, and 2x plus 4. And then the bottom line is 2x plus 4, so they'll cancel, and I'm left with 3x minus 1. Okay, so just to point out, and I know I flew through that one, but I've done it slowly like a good few times now. When you are asked to divide can you see that this here is quadratic? Now, how do we know that it's quadratic? We know it's quadratic because it has an x squared. Okay, so when it's a quadratic that you've been asked to divide, we can do it, if we want, this way. Okay, the way that we did for homework Wednesday. Or you can do it using long division, which I'm going to show you how to do now. Okay, but just so you know, when it's quadratic, you have a choice. Down here, this isn't quadratic, so you don't have a choice. Okay? Right, so, well, we know the answer, so let's hope we get it now. Okay, so again, this is like, it's a method. You just like give yourself a break here. You have to go through the steps, okay? So we're dividing 2x plus 4 into 6x squared plus 10x minus 4. Okay, so step 1 is to divide okay, so you're talking about, here's the first term inside, that's what I mean by inside, I mean under the division, and here's the first term outside. Okay, sorry, it looks like I'm leaving that out, I'm not. Okay, so 6x squared is the first term inside over 2x. Okay, remember that x squared is just 2x's. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then this x takes out one of these, so you have one left behind. Yeah? So when you get the answer to the first part, which was, well, 3x, that goes up on top. Now, I always like to line up, see the way the 10x is just an x, so that's why I put the 3 there, just because I like keeping these in line. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Yeah, I just like keeping them organized. Okay? So then you take your answer to part 1 and you multiply it by the expression outside. Okay, so watch this. I take my answer to part 1 and I multiply it by the expression that's outside, which is 2x plus 4. Okay, so this is distributive multiplication, so I'm going to take the 3x and go like that with it. So 3 by 2 is 6, and we've got 2 x's, so that's x squared. And then this is positive, so plus by plus, same signs, give me a plus. 3 by 4 is 12, and then the x. So 6x squared plus 12x. And that goes here, again, line it up. 6x squared goes under the x squared, and plus 12x, the x term under the x term. Okay? Sorry, I need to move this even further. The third one then is you change the signs on the answer to part 2. Okay? So for part 2, I got this. Okay? Now we need to acknowledge that this 6x squared is a plus 6x squared, and then we need to change them. Okay, so instead of plus, it's going to be a minus, and instead of plus, it's going to be a minus. So you change it to the opposite. So if it were a minus, you would change it to plus. You literally just change the signs. And then you add or subtract depending on the signs. Lines 1 and 2. So I mean, this would be line 1 and this would be line 2. Yeah? I'm going to take them out because they'd be in the way. Okay, so let's have a look. So just put in a little line here to show that I'm going to add and subtract. So this is 6x squared minus 6x squared. 6x squared minus 6x squared is 0 and it cancels, and that should always happen. You should always cancel that first bit. That's kind of part of the point. Okay? Next bit won't cancel. So it's plus 10x minus 12x. So plus 10. Actually, I was looking at your work, a lot of your work there. Was it after Monday's class? I can't remember anyway. Some of you are still struggling with this idea, like as in plus 10 minus 12, and you're getting the wrong answer. So there's really no excuse getting the wrong answer, and I don't mean that in a, kind of giddy outy way. I mean, use your calculator. So if you're unsure, if you think plus 10 minus 12, and in your head you get like, I don't know, 2, and you're like, is it a 2 or is it a minus 2? I'm not sure. If I do plus 2, I don't know. Just type it into your calculator. Type in 10 minus 12, and then you can be sure. And then what will happen is, like, if you can do it that way, so if you can think in your brain, this is what the answer is, and then check it on your calculator, you're sort of verifying yourself, and you will eventually get to a point where you don't need your calculator. Okay, but that's actually, like, you're doing all the hard stuff. Now, this is not everybody. Like I said, I only check about 7 or 8 copies every class. But the people I checked, and quite a few of them, and it could have just been bad luck, that's where the mistakes were being made. And in that last line where you have to add the families together, you really shouldn't be making a mistake there because you have a calculator. So just don't put the x in. Just write plus 10 minus 12 into your calculator. Your calculator will tell you that the answer is minus 2, and then put the x back on. Is that okay? Yeah, sorry, that's a side point there. And then the last part is bring down the next term. Okay, if you see so far the minus 4 has not been involved, so we bring it down and it goes here. Okay, then what you do is you go right back up to the start. So you divide the first term on the inside by the first term on the outside, except that the first term on the inside is now this one. Okay, you sort of moved on to a new level of the sum. Okay, so this time, I'll take it out here again. Just doing a different colour. So inside is minus 2x and outside is 2x. Okay, so this one is positive because there's no sign on it. So the signs are different, which means I'm going to get a minus. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and the x's will take each other out. So it's minus 1, and if you remember, that goes up on top. Yeah? Then we take the answer to part 1, so that was this. So we take our minus 1, and we multiply it by the expression on the outside, which is 2x plus 4. Okay, again, you are going to take this minus 1 and you're going to distribute it across the bracket. So this is positive, so different signs give me minus. 2 by 1 is 2, and then you have the x. Then this one by this one is different signs, so minus, and 1 by 4 is 4. So I'm getting minus 2x minus 4. Minus 2x minus 4. Step 3, change the signs on the answers to part 2. So this was a minus, I'm going to make it a plus. This was a minus, I'm going to make it a plus. Add or subtract lines 1 and 2. So now obviously we're going to talk about 3 and 4 here. So it's this one and this one, the lines you're working on. Just get rid of them. Okay, so we're doing our lines to show we're adding and subtracting. We have minus 2x plus 2x, which will take each other out. Minus 4 plus 4, which will take each other out. Okay, and then step 5 is to bring down the next term. We don't have a next term. Okay, so when you're reaching the end, as we are now because we don't have a step 5, this cancelling is supposed to happen. Okay, and it's your way of checking that you've done the division right. It's supposed to cancel out. Okay, so where do you find your answer? It is up on top. Here it is here. 3x minus 1, and I think, yep, that's what we were supposed. Oh, sorry. So we got the last time. Let me do it the other way. All right. So I'm going to do another one for you, just to show you. But again, there's a lot in that. Okay. So those you need to write down those steps. You need to do the sum. Like I would suggest now, if we were in class, like I don't know what's it's going to take me about 20 minutes maybe. Like I would probably give you 2 or 3 to do in class as well as 2 or 3 to do for homework, because it's like anything, I'm just trying to teach you a skill here, so you just have to, these steps you have to practice them and practice them and practice them until you don't have to look back and go, oh, what do I do next, what do I do next? Okay, so I'm not giving you like 6 or 7 for homework, obviously I think there's only 2, but my advice would be you practice. Okay, these need practice, same as the guide number 1, so you need to learn the method, so you just need to practice them. Okay, so we'll go through this one. I'm not going to write down all the steps this time, but we'll look back up. So this one is, this is what I'm dividing here, and if you see it has a squared, but it also has a cubed, so that makes it a cubic equation. Okay, it's a cubic equation. So for those ones you have to use the division method. So I have 2x minus 1 on the outside, and then on the inside, I have 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 5x minus 1. Okay, so step 1 was the first one on the inside, 2x cubed divided by the first term on the outside. Okay, so if x squared is 2x's, then x cubed is 1, 2, 3 of them. Yeah? So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then this x will take out one of them, leaving 2 behind, which we write as x squared. Okay? That goes up on top, 1x squared. For step 2 then, we take the answer to step 1 and we multiply it by the expression on the outside, which is 2x minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to distribute it across the bracket. So 1 by 2 is 2. X squared by x, there's 3 of them now, so that's x cubed. This is positive, so plus minus is different signs, which give me a minus. 1 by 1 is 1, and then I have my x squared. Yeah? So I take that and I put it back into here and line it up. So 2x cubed goes under the 2x cubed, and minus 1x squared goes under the minus 7x squared, so that they're matching. Step 3 then is to change the signs on my answer to step 2. So at the moment, this 2x cubed is a plus 2x cubed, so I'm going to make it minus, and this minus is a plus. Okay, when you're doing this in your copies, I would suggest you do what I'm doing here and get like a different, like when I do it, I switch colors to red or green or something and really show the change of sign. Okay, because it can get messy if you don't. Okay, so here we go. The 2x cubed minus 2x cubed cancels, which is what we want to happen. And I have, sorry, I'm on step 4 now, adding and subtracting the lines. So minus 7 plus 1 is minus 6x squared. Again, if that's confusing, calculator, minus 7 plus 1, and then stick in your x squared. Step 5, bring down the next term. So the next term here is the plus 5x. So I bring it down, plus 5x. So we're done with step 5. We go straight back up to the top. Okay. So term outside divided by term inside. Sorry, the other way around, term inside divided by term outside. But now the term inside has changed because we're onto a new level. So I might do this in a different colour. So my step 1 is going to be minus 6x squared divided by 2x. 2x is positive, so different signs give me minus. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then x squared is 2x's. So this x cancels one of these and leaves 1 behind. Remember that that goes up on top, minus 3x. For step 2 then, you take your answer to step 1, which is minus 3x, and you multiply it by the expression on the outside, which is not going to change, 2x minus 1. And then we're going to distribute, so we're going to take this and distribute. This is positive, so signs are different, give me minus. 3 by 2 is 6, and 2x's is x squared. Minus minus, so signs are the same, which give me a plus. 3 by 1 is 3, and then I have x. So I'm going to take that, put it in here, minus 6x squared and plus 3x. Step 3 is to change the signs on the answer to part 2 there. So this minus becomes a plus, and this plus becomes a minus. Now we're on to step 4, which is adding and subtracting the lines. Minus 6x squared plus 6x squared, again, as hoped, will cancel. And then we have plus 5x minus 3x. So 5 minus 3 is 2. And then put the x back on. So now we're done. Do we have another term to bring down for step 5? Yes, we do. So we bring it down. And the minus 1 goes here. And we go back to the top. Okay? So back up to the top. Step 1 all over again. What we do? Do this in red. Okay, so the term inside is 2x, and the term outside isn't going to change, so it's 2x. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and the x's will cancel. And just so we're clear, this is a plus and this is a plus, which means the signs are the same, so this is a plus. Yeah? Take that, it goes up on top. Then, for step 2, we take our answer to step 1 and multiply it by what's outside, which is 2x minus 1. We're going to take the plus 1 and distribute it. This is a plus as well, so same signs. Give me a plus, it's a leading, so I won't put it down. 1 by 2 is 2, and then I have x. Plus by minus is different signs, so minus, and 1 by 1 is 1. So take that, put it back in, so 2 3x minus 1. Step 3 is to change the signs. So, sorry, this is a plus at the moment. So this will become a minus, and this minus will become a plus. Step 4 is to add and subtract the lines. So I have 2x minus 2x cancels, and minus 1 plus 1 cancels. And I am out of things to bring down, so that's what we hope to happen. Do you remember that we have no step 5? Everything cancels. Okay, so where do we find our answer? We find it up on top there. So the answer is 1x squared, getting this from up here, minus 3x plus 1. Okay, so you probably noticed, but when it's cubic, we get an extra layer, I suppose. So we had to do the whole process 3 times, as opposed to up here, where we only had, so here's the first bit, and here's the second bit, so 2 layers. Whereas up here you have 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers, because it's cubic. So you get 3 layers to the sum. But if you can understand what you're doing in the first layer, it's just repetition. Just bring yourself back up to step 1 and work through the 5 steps. Back up to step 1, work through the 5 steps. And then you're out. 2 things should happen. You should have nothing left to bring down, and everything should cancel. That's what should happen in the last step. Okay? So take it easy with these. Go through the homework nice and slowly, following the steps. Even maybe with this video open so I can talk you through it step by step. But do your best, okay? It's tough, but it'll be one of these things. Once you get the hang of it, like at Leaving Cert, all of my students would have been like, long division handy. You know, once you get the hang of it, it is grand, but it does take a bit of getting used to. Okay, so good luck with that.